Hi guys, welcome to Educating College's Selective Preparation Power Reading Test 16. Today we'll be reading linked extracts with questions 21 to 30. Let's begin by reading extract A. The massive multinational search for Malaysian Airlines flight MF370 is a hugely expensive exercise. There was a level of optimism evident when the Australian defence vessel, the Ocean Shield, managed to pick up beacon frequencies from the black boxes of their lost aircraft. There was almost a feeling of elation. The Prime Minister, speaking in Beijing, stated that he was quietly confident that the black boxes of the aircraft were soon to be located. Their location had been pinpointed to an area of several square kilometers. Regrettably, the initial optimism has now been tempered by feelings of despair. It is now believed that the boxes, which would provide valuable data on the last moments of the aircraft's flight, may be lying at a depth of 4,500 meters in an area of approximately 2,000 square kilometers. No further signals have been received, and there is a fear that the battery system may have run down to the extent that no signals can be transmitted. The latest news is not very comforting to the relatives and friends of the passengers of flight MH370, as news filtering through had completely undermined the sense of certainty just a few days ago. Next, we have extract B, which reads, NASA chose Jerezo crater as the landing site for the Perseverance rover. Scientists believe the area was once flooded with water and was home to an ancient river delta. The process of landing site selection involved a combination of mission team members and scientists from around the world, who carefully examined more than 60 candidate locations on the red planet. After the exhaustive 5-year study of potential sites, each with its own unique characteristics and appeal, Jerezo rose to the top. Jerezo crater tells a story on the on-again, off-again nature of the wet past of Mars. More than 3.5 billion years ago, river channels spilled over the crater wall and created a lake. Scientists see evidence that water carried clay minerals from the surrounding area into the crater lake. Conceivably, microbial life could have lived in Jerezo during one or more of these wet times. If so, signs of the remains might be found in lakebed or shoreline sediments. Scientists will study how the region formed and evolved, seek signs of past life, and collect samples of Mars rock and soil that might preserve these signs. Next, we have extract 3, which reads, Now, to anyone not fully acquainted with the ways of the Leviathans, it may seem an absurdly hopeless task thus to seek out one solitary creature in the unhooped oceans of this planet. But not did it seem to Ahab, who knew the sets of all tides and currents, and thereby calculating the driftings of the sperm whale's food, and also calling to mind the regular ascertained seasons for hunting him in particular latitudes, could arrive at reasonable surmises, almost approaching to certainties concerning the timeliest day to be upon this or that ground in search of his prey. So assured, indeed, is the fact concerning the periodicalness of the sperm whales resorting to given waters that many hunters believe that, could he be closely observed and studied throughout the world, were the logs for one voyage of the entire whale fleet carefully collated, then the migrations of the sperm whale could have been found to correspond in invariability to those of the herring shells or the flights of shallows. On this hint, attempts have been made to construct elaborate migratory charts of the sperm whale. Extract D reads, Google's AI Overviews feature generates bite-sized summaries for longer queries, aiming to streamline search. However, a Pew Research Center study of 900 U.S. participants found that users encountering AI summaries clicked through the website source only 1% of the time, compared to much higher rates for traditional search results. This shift poses risks to web traffic and the broader ecosystem of content creators. Despite over 2 billion monthly users, the feature has sparked criticism for occasionally producing misleading or nonsensical advice, ranging from recommending eating rocks to suggesting glue as a food substitute, problems Google attributes to data voids. The company has since implemented filters to block AI overviews on certain queries and tone down satire-oriented content in its summaries. The article highlights concern that heavy reliance on AI-driven summaries may atrophy critical thinking, echoing a Microsoft study warning that AI assistants can diminish users' intellectual engagement. OpenAI Sam Altman himself reportedly uses ChatGPT instead of Google search, but questions whether any AI tool will fully replace the depth of exploration that traditional searching provides. Now we'll go through the question. So first we have questions 21 to 25. It says, read the 4 extracts below on the theme of searching. For questions 21 to 30, choose the option A, B, C, or D, which you think best answers the question. So we'll go through these ones first, and I'll talk you through them slowly. Question 21 says, which extract shows the declared search was magnitudes harder than what was publicly announced? So if we go back quickly, let's kind of summarize what we can see here. So we can see A was about the Malaysian Airlines flight, so I'll just underline that one. Sorry. Extract B was about the Gedezo crater. Extract C, they were talking about the leviathans, which is also the sperm whale. And extract D, here they're talking a lot about AI, so we'll just underline AI, ChatGPT. So going back to the question, shows the declared search was magnitudes harder than what was publicly announced. So we know it's not D, first of all. Why is it not D? Because D was talking about AI, and AI was not magnitudes harder. We also know it cannot be C, which again was the Leviathans, because it's not publicly announced. If we go to extract B, well, yes, it was difficult because it had an exhaustive 5-year study period. They did end up using it, so it is not extract B, and here it would actually be extract A. Remember, extract A was talking about how the search for the Malaysian missing flight was much harder than what was publicly announced because they said so earlier. Here where he was quietly confident, but then after, regrettably, the initial optimisms have now been tempered. Question 22 reads, suggest that without known information, this search task is impossible. So again, we had extract A. Well, yes, they did say it was very difficult to find. The question here is asking for without known information. And they do know some information from extract A. They talked about how they had figured the beacon frequencies with the black box. Extract B, well, yes, but here they say that they know that there's evidence that water carried clay minerals. Here, it would actually be extract C, which is talking about the leviathans and sperm whales. They say here that many hunters believe that he could be closely observed. But there is no evidence here. So here, extract C. Question 23 reads, which extract is about searching for a particular component? So again, something that they're looking for. Again, it's not extract D because extract D is talking about AI, and AI they're talking about data voids, which is something they can't really fix. And then extract C is talking about the leviathans, which is not a component, that's the whole thing they're searching for. Extract B, they're just talking about how they're trying to find a certain land, which again is the whole component, so it's not a single component, so it must be extract A. And what are they looking for? They're looking for the black boxes. So I'll highlight this or circle it in a different color for you guys. So 23 would be A. 24 reads, which extract talks about the many individuals that have contributed to the search location? So we had extract A, which, yes, there were many different places that were searching. For example, the Australian Defence Vessel, but they're not individuals here. Extract B is talking about how NASA, a company, and then there's scientists. So we know that scientists are an individual, but they're also a group. So it could be B. Extract C, yes, but here we're talking about Ahab, just one individual, so not individuals. Extract D is talking about many companies, again, where they have Microsoft and Google. And again, extract D is not talking about searching for something. They're trying to solve this issue that they have. So here, it would be extract B. Remember, extract B was talking earlier here about NASA and the scientists, which ties back in with individuals. Many individuals, remember. Question 25 reads, which extract implies a benefit to partaking in unaided searching? So we had extract A, but again, it's not unaided, so it wouldn't be A. B, again, not unaided because they have NASA to back them up. C, again, there's many hunters, so it wouldn't be C. It's not unaided. So here it would be extract D. So we use the process of elimination for that one. Next, we have question 26. We're doing the same thing here when you choose option A, B, C, or D. So question 26 reads, which extract suggests what was more commonly done in the past for searching? So we know here, if it's talking about the past, it's obviously not going to be extract A. We know it's also not going to be extract B because they're talking about modern science. Extract C could potentially be, but remember extract D is just talking about just the past and they don't have a comparison, so it must be extract D. Here, if we look back, I'll do a different color this time so you're not confused. Extract D is talking about how previously there was much higher rates for traditional search results. So that's why we've got extract D for question 26. Question 27 reads, which extract indicates the various things actively being searched for? So again, things implies it's not extract A because extract A is talking about the black box. Could be extract B because remember extract B is talking about rocks and sediments and evidence from the planet. Extract C is not things, remember they're looking for these sperm whales. And extract D is, remember, not things being actively searched for. You might get confused because of this searched for, but they're talking about how to improve current AI systems. So here it'd be extract B. Next, question 28 reads, which extract mentions two factors which were known was used to search? So we have extract A, extract B, extract C, and then D. So again, we can cross out extract D here because two factors were not mentioned in the extract D. Extract A, also there weren't two factors that were known well to search. Could be extract B or C, we'll just double check. B here, we can see there's only one mention, which is they're talking about some evidence. And then extract C, they have two. So they're talking about all tides and currents, and also by calculating the drifting of the sperm whales, food, and also particular latitudes. So yes, extract C works for that one. So question 28 will be C. Next is question 29, which reads, which extract reveals two corrections made to improve searching? So again, this searching this time, as opposed to this previous searching, is talking about Google searching. So it must be extract D, because remember, improve here. And they did make two ones, which they said they want to avoid the misleading and nonsensical advice. And what they've done here is they've blocked AI overviews on certain queries and toned down satire-oriented content. So for 29, it was D. Lastly, we have question 30, which reads, which extract discusses the change in perspective due to the circumstances of the search? So here, this would be A, and I'll go back and show you some evidence. Remember, it says here that he was quietly confident that the black boxes were soon to be located, but then, regrettably, the initial optimism has now been tempered, which shows that there was a change in perspective. So they went from quite positive and they were very hopeful and they were confident, but now, because of a lack of concrete evidence that they found, and also just because of how big their search range was, they became unconfident. I thank you guys for coming to Educating College's Selective Preparation Power Reading Test 16. I'll see you guys next time.